right now, I'm gonna show you how to nature journal in 5 easy steps. Step number 1, take out your nature journal and get your metadata down as soon as possible. The metadata is just the time, the date, the weather, and any other information about the place that you want to include on the page. Step number 2, start observing something and drawing right away. Don't wait until you find that perfect thing, the most beautiful thing, the thing you love the most, or the thing that you intentionally came looking for. Start by drawing something and observing something right at the beginning where you start. And don't wait to find the perfect thing. It will turn into the perfect thing as you start drawing and observing. Remember to use drawing as a tool for observation and for learning, not as a decoration while you're nature journaling. No matter what you're drawing, try to turn it into a diagram, and that will help you focus on nature journaling more and not worrying about the pretty picture. Also, make sure to zoom in and zoom out and not only show your subject matter at one scale. Most people have a certain scale they always draw things at, and it's usually automatic. So in nature journaling, we like to practice zooming in and zooming out in our drawings as a mental exercise and a better way to show the information on the page. It also looks cooler. I'm so glad that I started drawing as a tool of observation right away when I first pulled out my nature journal, because now I have my juices flowing and I didn't spend the first 30 minutes of my nature journaling outing looking for something cool to nature journal. Now I'm warmed up, and guess what is right behind me? Step number 3 is to remember to use all 3 languages used in nature journaling: words, images, and numbers. We all have one or the other that we favor, one that we lean on, one that we assume nature journaling is about, but each of those 3 languages has its own strengths and weaknesses. So to the best of your ability, try incorporating words, images, and numbers onto your page. Also, don't forget that words and numbers look good too. So you can use words in creative ways, and you can make numbers and quantification part of the aesthetic of your page. And I think that they really do add to the aesthetic of the overall page and take pressure off of the individual drawing. So if you're just getting started with drawing and nature journaling, doing a mixture of words, images, and numbers is going to take pressure off of your drawing. All right, are you still with me? We're on step number 4 of how to nature journal in 5 easy steps. So right now, step number 4 is capture the context. A lot of times we're really zoomed in on like a single flower or something like that while we're nature journaling, and we don't show the bigger picture. So step number 4 is capture the context, and there's a couple ways you can do this. One of the classic ways that a lot of people in the nature journaling community use right now to capture the context is doing a landscapeito. So a small landscape painting, usually in watercolor, but it can also just be an ink thumbnail, and using that to capture the scene of wherever you are. For my landscapeito, I just did a really quick thumbnail, and this is the kind of thing that I myself often avoid, and I wish I would do it more to capture the context. If you have a page of drawings of little things or even other things, but you don't get that many of these in, you lose some of that big picture cinematic aspect of experiencing place. So even if you're just showing a map of your neighborhood where you are, or a landscapeito looking through the park or at the beach or whatever, get that context down on your nature journal page. Next, super fun and super creative way to get the context captured on your page is to do some color swatches. This is a really good way to practice your color and start doing color matches without worrying about all of the other aspects of painting with watercolor. So I'm so glad I did that exercise for this video, because doing color swatches of a place is super fun and super easy. It only took me about 3 minutes to do these colors. Some of them are mixed, some of them are direct from my John Muir Laws watercolor palette, and some of them are dipped into other colors while still wet, for wet on wet. So if this was all you did for your watercolor practice, or even these 2 elements right here was all that you did for your nature journaling, that'd be super powerful. But look how easy it is to just put a little bit of this on your page, get some color down in a really non-scary sort of way, get your feet wet in watercolor, so to speak, and get some more information capturing the context of where you're nature journaling. The last way to do step number 4 and capture the context while you're nature journaling is to do some creative writing. And I think it's really funny that I ended up with this really small space to do creative writing, because writing is usually something that fills up lots of the page. But this is going to force me to have some cool creative limitations and show you how easy and how quickly you can use words to describe a place. All right, I didn't make a haiku, but all I did was describe things directly with less fluff and with an economy of space. So for capturing the context, here's what I wrote. Crash waves, warm ocean wind, olive green scrubby veg, kids play, tide gets lower still. That's it. And so that took me less than 3 minutes. It took up smaller than a business card amount of space on my nature journal. And this is something that we could all do to add some really cool context through creative writing onto our nature journal pages. Are you still with me? Because you're gonna really like step number 5. Last, but certainly not least, is step number 5. Reward yourself. If you've made it this far, then you've deserved it. Do you still need just a little more motivation to get started? Check out this playlist full of videos about nature journaling for beginners. Are you still confused about buying nature journaling supplies? Check out this video here where I make it easy for you.